I'm like, I'll get ready. We'll go live early and we will tune into the messages. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium, twin flame, cover astrology, give you the coaching, update you with the chakras. If you haven't looked, I know it's echoey. I've had to clean my carpet, so it's a bit echoey. You can go to the channel, which I will later link the videos for your astrology by zodiac sign. Now, cross-referencing of that can assist as well. Separately, we're going to get into the energy of what's coming through for masculines and feminines. Hi, love. Now, it is a very unique time. You know, some people really haven't been, how would I put it? Depending on where you are in your journey, you tune into the energy. Some people are very triggered, and I will say it is it is part of the process to be triggered during the journey, because there can be, to a degree, emotions coming up. There can be a purgatory effect due to the fact that we've got Aries and Chiron retrograde. All right, so, you know, if you're feeling aggressive and angry, we do have Mars retrograde, and we also have Aries and Chiron retrograde till December the 15th. So, you know, it's the health of things with 6, okay, because it's going direct on the 15th. With that 6 in astrology, vibration of health, we're going through this at the moment. So if you're getting triggered, just remember, I know you're angry, it's perfectly normal, but it's a, how do I put it? I can't romantically put it. I mean, at the moment, I will actually say, divine feminines, you know, Venus energies are up in the sky at the moment, and they're kind of flowing all out there in the abyss. Masculine planets are gearing up ready to go direct, and it's a bit like being late to dinner, really. You know, it's like, where is this person? We're late for dinner. And after a while of being late to dinner, you know, people do get a bit peeved, which is, you know, you're still going to eat, okay? You're going to get your main meal. It's like, we call it hangry. So it's like, what's up in the hood with this? Let's have a look. Now, I do need to keep it choppy, but hopefully tomorrow, because I've had so many things external with Uranus and Taurus, which we're all going through, so go look at your transits. It'll either be occurring on an internal level or an external level. It's the bringer of change. So at the moment, I do feel that the feminine energies are really going through a spiritual change. So it's happening on an internal level. It's happening at a very personal level. You can be just, you know, regressing back, Pluto making aspects to Jupiter this month. There's almost, you know, forcing you to let go of things, forcing you, having these emotions come up and having to get to a point you're going, oh God, you know, that's how I felt about X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to try and gear that down a little bit. So with the emotions that are coming up, you're going to feel very reflective. You're going to feel, you know, and again, it's all connected to your Aries placement, but at a Venus level, because we have the moon in Taurus, right? We're looking at what's pretty and what's not, what's hot and what's not, right? So, you know, with that, sometimes it's perspective and perception. It can be egoic, and it's not wrong or right. It's just that is something that's coming up at the moment. And we're breaking conditioning as well at the same time. So there's this push-pull energy inside of feminines that you guys are looking at something from a particular perspective. You may be gauging your journey versus their journey. You know, for those of us that have been on the twin flame path, we know it is not a romantic kind of, there might have been rose-colored glasses, you know, at the beginning, but the growth stage, sometimes there's a great deal of anger linking to the spirituality, the growth stage. And, you know, I hear a lot of twins saying this. I'm like, I can say, look, I was there too, right? I'm in yin and I have been for 2 years. So, you know, the further in you go, you still have trigger points, you work on them and you detach. But for a lot of feminines, it can be, I've literally been sitting here wasting my time waiting for you. You know, if you are getting to that, you've got to look at why you feel it would be better if they came back. Just a theory, have a look at it, and then go, okay, with that lack energy, what's coming up that you feel that human being would directly complete it? And it's not that, you know, constantly all you have to do is clean shop internally and heal, but just gauging where the perspective's coming from. And then it can be a need to externally and internally clean shop. It could be something to do with money. It could be something to do with emotions. It could be something to do with, what if somebody comes in? Will I be disempowered? It's never wrong or right what you do. Yes, we have tests, but when they come in, it's all about being authentic to you. So it's okay at that moment. What do you think is correct for you? And if you've got any inkling as to, I'm more inclined to go for this person than that person, that is a powerful thing. And it's a responsible thing as well. You have to look at it and you have to go, okay, what am I going to do for me inside my own life to come correct so I don't cause any more dramas? And it's really confronting that fear. And I always do promote really addressing those fear-based frequencies. It's almost like instead of running away from it, really confronting it head on to a point where you go, if this has been a synchronistic pattern, really having to look at it and go, am I running? Because feminines and masculines do run, both. And it will happen throughout the journey. It's not just a little interval kind of thing. You do tend to find sometimes we can be running internally. So when we stop and we check what's coming up, it can be sometimes at a level where you feel abandonment. It can feel like rejection. Sometimes it can be competition. And again, Venus, we're having that with the moon. It's a full moon. It's a purgatory effect. Were we attractive enough? Were we good enough? Why has somebody else been picked? And that's and sometimes, yes, you guys have already gone through that and you've already worked on that energy and realized it's not a competition and you're detaching from it. Others of you, it can be the give and take in the situation and wanting that if you're climbing that mountain, it's for a given purpose. It's not just for the sake of climbing a blasted mountain. Okay, you become more realistic with what you pour your energy into with Mars retrograde. Now, Mercury is stationary direct. We have the election in America. I'm thinking of you guys. We also have the trots over here in Australia. So very interesting times of what's coming up. And everyone collectively, we've got this almost sitting on the edge of our chair now. Probably in the last 3 days, I did feel the frequency coming through. That was a little bit dark and malefic, to be quite honest. And I was like, okay, what's going on with this? And you're really guided to, with the messages that I got psychically, to clear shop in your home. Clear the energy, and you need to do it regularly. I'm just saying, you just need to do it regularly because we have Mars retrograde. We have Aries and Chiron retrograde till the 15th of December. We also have the frequency of purgatory experiences going on. So with that, what does tend to happen is your auric field of psychic protection depletes because you're purging, right? So you go into hermit mode and you're doing that internal work. If you're interacting with other people, especially at the moment, and you are out and about, just knowing to flush the energy and not own it. Empaths have a really dreadful time trying to work out how to do that. And that's what I do with coaching. So if you ever feel you're really struggling and you're really down in the dumps, come through. I do coaching. I can connect in with your chakra systems to see what's coming up, where the triggers are stemming from to get you back on track. And that's for your own sanity as well, so that it's not affecting your day-to-day life, because it can be very depleting at times and exhausting. Pay attention to your fatigue levels. At the moment, a lot of people are not sleeping, and it is due to Mars retrograde, Neptune and Pisces retrograde. So your fatigue level is going to be there, and psychic attacks can be there too. But you'll also find for people, karmics, and not all karmics are, karmic in nature. Some can be very beautiful in energy, and that can be another karmic lesson. It's like, how do I say no to a wonderful person? It's still a lesson. It's choosing from your authentic self, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you're making a healthy decision. So you have different situational shifts kind of come through in your life through your path as a spiritual being. And the laws of attraction are, unfortunately, sometimes we think it's directly linked to twin, which, yes, that ascension process is. The things that you guys have to experience in the 3D is chosen prior to being here. But you can actually skip steps. You can get to a point, you can learn, and you can detach from these things, and you can move forward faster. There was another thing I needed to tell you guys. So in it at the moment, you kind of have the ups and downs, depending on where you are, whether you're a first waver, second waver. Don't really need to mention the third wavers. That'll be coming through in the next 3 years, but most of you are first and second wavers. Most of you are going to get contact moving through, and it is really going to start amping up now. So if you do find certain readers really aren't touching base on it, the thickest energy that's going to come through is due to the fact that you're moving into detachment. If you can move into detachment without being angry, and I'm not saying you won't be angry, you'll get it in ebbs and flows, you get super triggered, and then you'll just let go because it's really exhausting. It's a purge of the ego. Once you can get to that space, if I was to ask you a question, I always use this as a test. If your twin was to come back today, are you ready? And the sinking energy in your gut will really tell you a true story. And that question was asked to me, and I was like, because the first thing I thought was, heck no, I don't want to go through that again. But the thing is, you had control on saying yes and no at all times. But because we, as empathic energies, it's almost like playing chess in the initial pieces. There's victim, perpetrator, there's the good old analogy of our parents saying, if you behave, I'm going to get you an ice cream. So you have this notion when you're linking in with other people, and then you're really feeling you're having to prove yourself to divine masculine or feminine. Once you purge that and you realize you can't make everyone happy, including your twin flame, and you must make yourself happy. And it's not in an aggressive way. It's not in a dictatorship way. It's just for sanity's sake. You get to that realization and peaceful place. Once you can reach detachment of, you don't care when it's coming, which when you're purging, you really do care. I'll be perfectly honest with you. You're mad, you're sad, you're angry, you feel abandoned. You feel that you have placed so much into an energy and it hasn't been respected. And the thing is, you're actually angry at yourself as well. You're angry at the situation 100%, but you're also angry because you feel your intuition has let you down, and it's not your intuition. And the reason I say it's not your intuition is because your intuition is not responsible for other people. So I always promote, do not be mad at your intuition. Your intuition's job is not to keep stock of what another person is doing. That is the other person's responsibility, and it's attachment energy, and it's a hard job. I mean, it's hard enough running our own lives, let alone worrying about what somebody else is or isn't doing. So if you can detach from that, because it is a war wound, that's all it is. You may have had people cheat on you. You might have had people take financially from you. Again, they're all linked into the chakra system of the cleaning and the clearing you're going to do. There is going to be a lot of movement coming, so you really need to be spiritually ready. Now, when the energy of union comes in, it will come with you first. You will be in complete detachment. At the moment, I did mention, even with the other videos, we do have heart chakra activation with the Taurus moon. Okay, we have watermelon tourbillon here for the feminines. Hi, Giggle. So a lot of the feminines at the moment some are thinking of tapping out. Some are wondering if they are directly romantically connected. Is it actually perfectly normal? Yeah, I went through it myself. I was like, I don't know, man. It has been a while. I'd really looked at a lot of healing. I'd looked at my emotions, and I was like, But then I had to step away from it again. I was like, well, I don't know because it hasn't happened yet. And how will I know unless that person was to turn up in front of me? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to make a false statement because it might be true in the moment. And I find it so amusing because I've done it myself, and I'll say it again. There's no shade. I just find it very amusing because this journey is not fun. I'm telling you, I'm laughing at myself. Of when we jump on videos and we are shading feminine or masculine, hi Luciana, and we're saying, I'm moving on and I've already got somebody, why are you looking at twin flame videos? Come on. We do not wish masculine or feminine to lie to us, so we mustn't lie to ourselves. You can be angry, but if we are in alignment, and I remember there was a statement coming from, and I don't know if I should say this because we've got the whole disclosure with Scorpio going on with Mercury. There was a statement relating to one of the karmics, and somebody in particular told me, and I said, well, if they were really tuning in to the person they were with, they would not be focused on the next point blank zero. So you really need to be checking where your focus is on. Now, at the moment, I do feel feminines are trying to get their beauty on. I'm getting there slowly. We're looking at where we haven't cared for ourselves. We're healing the heart chakra. And look, you could well and truly be healed. But you're not looking at things with rose-colored glasses. You're being very, very practical. Sometimes you will get to the point you feel disillusioned because you are looking at the romanticism of it. And it's like, oh, back then when I was ignorant and it was all bed of roses, you know. Yeah, and it's sad because you had such faith, you had something, you looked at that, and again, energies can swap. So this could be a masculine energy embodying feminine energy. So please don't look at it like a tag. I'm connecting the dots. Please understand that it is merely same as twin flamed. It's the energy of this frequency. So feminine attributes coming through. Hi Eddie, is the frequency of, you know, heart chakra activation. It's taking the rose-colored glasses off, healing it. But try and be disconnected in a sense of allowing it to take its natural course. Try not to tune in too much to what would need to change, how it would need to be, because again, same as your own intuition, not being responsible for what another person does, it's the same thing. So if you're thinking, gosh, they're not talking to my mother, brother, sister, father, they need their finances in order, it's not your problem. Breathe it in and go, wow, that's heavy. You know, that's a lot of work. Breathe it out. It's not a problem. When you tune into it, you extend the journey. When you disconnect, you drop a load. Quite frankly, you probably drop some weight as well because it's spiritual energy. We gain weight when we are holding baggage emotionally. Letting it go, and obviously there's medical reasons and other, but letting it go and disconnecting. You'll find through the purging, a certain point in it you will retain, and then as you're purging, which will feel like squeezing yourself out, you will drop a lot of weight. So it's needed for a point in the journey because you're going to be purging and releasing and detoxing. So at the moment, there's heart chakra activation. Some of you, you're feeling very protective. Others of you, you're almost feeling like, you know, I don't even know if my heart's in it. Again, detachment. The funny thing is, once you reach detachment, you don't understand that all you need to do is let go. And it can happen within 24 hours. So with the letting go, you find all of a sudden somebody comes in, and it's the whole notion we say, as soon as I get my life together, divine feminine or masculine comes in. Why is that? Because you are open. It's like you've got to close the door of the psyche to do with what happened. And once you let go and you're just in that present moment, so really learning to be in the present moment is where you need to be at all times. You will then you can, at a point in the journey, attract a twin flame. It will not be your twin flame. And there's a reason why it comes in, and it's you activating each other. But again, you know your soul contract, and it's not you have to be with a certain person. It is not. I'm not saying that. But you are inclined to, when you're in detachment, honey to the bee, everyone will come towards you. Why? Because you're open, you're receptive. So it's coming to a point where you're opening, you're making peace with yourself, you're not controlling things, you're getting into alignment of calmness. Ascension symptoms can get very heavy. So with the psychic attacks, which will be connected to your twin, I hate to break it to you, they energetically feel you. And so the panicked energy with their awakening comes in, and it can at times be very... I'll give you an example. Me being psychic, I've been psychic since I was a child, so I had to learn to really manage it, and it was energy. So sometimes empaths can find being in public can be very overwhelming because you're feeling, some people feel things. So if I was channeling energy, if something quite profuse happened to a human being, I would feel their pain body energy, and I would embody that energy. I had to learn very quickly how to detach, so I wasn't reliving what they went through. Then as the gift grows, which all of us collectively have it, it's fine-tuning it and being aware of it and stepping away from the ego. You can smell things, senses will come through. Then we get the number synchronicities and things to that degree. So empathically, what you need to understand, some YouTubers and twin flame coaches will say, send love and light. Now remember, I'm not saying you don't love them. I'm not saying don't send love and light. At a certain point in the journey, we're purging codependency, we're purging victim consciousness, perpetrator, and all of those domains, which there's great YouTubers that do talk about stuff like that. And Shelley, what's that lovely lady's name? She wrote a book. She does a lot of coaching and therapy. That can really help your twin flame path too, and I do coaching connected to that to see the blockages. So what I'm trying to say is we've got Neptune retrograde, right? We also have, yeah, I'll mention that in a minute, Shirley. And then we have Pisces, crown chakra. We have Mars, wounds, war energy, retrograde, going direct. So lower frequency energy is present. If that human being has energies around them that are distorted, you're directly tapping into their energy and channeling the energy of what is surrounding them. And it's going to affect your ascension symptoms. So you need to tune out. If you feel the heavy energy, blow it out and say, I know you have this. I'm not going to be in my ego saying, I'm the only one that can ascend. I'm going to believe that you have as much ability as me. And I have faith in you, you can do this. And you breathe it in, blow it out, and tune into something else. And that gets you anchored back in again. Now, yes, you can do guided meditations. That's something connected in with coaching. Now, something that has been coming up lately has been cleaning your chakras, getting your home and the area at the moment really neutralized, especially connected to your bedroom. I'm also seeing both Giggle and I have experienced the smell of sage coming through. Now, when I did a bit more research, it was going to nettle, it was going to rosemary, and it wasn't something I had burnt in the house. Now, when you research, and I'm more from a holistic perspective over, you know, witchcraft or anything to that degree, because what we put out is what we get back. Black magic energy can come through simply by a person tuning into you and sending the evil eye. So receptively, the channeled message that I have got is there can be people that have negative eyes on you. There can also be, and there's nothing you can do about it really, that is their egoic purge, and it's something they have to learn because they're focusing on you, not their own life. And it's a waste of energy. It's a bit like they're spending money on you. That's effectively what they're doing. They're spending energy on you. What a waste of money, right? Anywho, so instead of channeling all that energy, which is solar plexus, sacral chakra, into their life to manifest things that are deserving of them to come towards them, they're sending energy out and it's going to directly come back to them. So initially you're going to get the brunt of it. So psychic protection, there is jealousy around at the moment. So, you know, the spiritual connection to those areas is jealousy. There is a lot of green-eyed monster coming through. That can be to do with what do you have, what don't they have. Fixations on maybe your finances and what you're getting, what they're not getting. Half the feminines have to provide for themselves. So again, masculines and feminines 9 times out of 10 do that. So there is this projection energy coming through, be mindful of it. Okay, so masculines have their crown chakra activated and it's really eye-opening. So they're really focused at the moment on their hopes and dreams. They're really focused on their psychic downloads and wanting to move forward. Now, the energy in between both of you are getting into a yin and yang. My emotions are balanced. I react to others in an objective and loving way. So you may be looking at people going, you're a bit triggered there. Okay, that's for masculines and feminines. You're sensing energy. Pay attention to the energy you're sensing. Let's look at the rune that's come up for masculine. And I have said I'm going to place the tags on this book. Now, I do feel the quietness is about to be over soon, and that is coming from the masculines or the previous runner's point of view, which, believe me, we're both running. When we're running, one is running internally, one is running externally. You just check it, you'll know. You're like, am I backing off because this is getting overwhelming? That's running. Calling it what it is and, you know, accepting it for what it is, that's detachment. That's when things flow. Okay, so masculines, they're looking to the future because this is actually facing forward. Okay? And this connects to, I guarantee, Mars, Libra and Mars, okay? So at the moment, there is the yin and yang energy going on already. As Mars goes direct, it's going to balance out more so. So if you do feel things aren't moving, if you do feel, you know, things aren't like going to where they need to be and it's too slow, you got to remember they've had the whole of Mars retrograde. All of us collectively have been tired. We haven't been sleeping. Add that and ascension and rejecting certain timelines, especially with all the Pluto aspects this month, ending cycles. Crow, births, deaths, endings. Wolf, moon energy. Libra, Mars, Tuesday, red, air. Okay, let's have a look. Mundane, victory, honor, justice, law, balance, self-sacrifice, righteousness. So from a collective point of view, for divine masculines, they are looking at their marriages, contracts, partnerships. They're looking at their joint contracts. They're also looking at being quite secretive towards their money. Things that were done in the dark are coming to the forefront, and through this month there are going to be a lot of skeletons in the closet coming out. This can be them accidentally hearing something, and definitely can be them getting ready to tell you some things that you really didn't know. Something that was kept hidden from both of you, something potentially that they have not been able to articulate. There is going to be a lot of disclosure coming through this month. Esoteric, okay, magical equilibrium, selflessness, spiritual purity, the burning off of the phoenix. Okay, now in reverse, they're not in reverse. They're like moving forward. They're no longer wanting to be in paralysis, lack of commitment, and things not going where they wanted to, because they've really invested in situations that they feel in previous years have not really had fruit. So they're knowing in their crown chakra that they're needing to leave some things behind, allow them to naturally take their course of transformation. There's some things that will come with us, and that's all collectively, and there's some things that simply won't, because they don't serve our higher purpose. Now, next month we're having both Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius. With that, it can be very tribe orientated, but at the same time, it can also feel very isolating. And the reason I say that is if you are in a tribe that you don't feel you resonate with, and this is why it's so choppy this month, it won't mesh. We won't have that support network. It will feel very isolating. So if you're doing something against the grain of your belief system and you don't feel you resonate with certain energies in your life, it will only become harder moving into next month, and it will be very toxic. You can feel really like an outsider. I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, feminines. I hope you're following. Right. I know I haven't been on here for a while. You've got X marks the spot. Somebody said X in the house, right? Ash, Odin, fire. Yeah, you're feeling a bit fiery. Nothing is for nothing, okay? Why did I do this? Why did I invest all this energy? Trust me, I even had some psychic downloads this morning, and I was thinking back to years ago. I was watching a YouTuber, and it was to do with sea container homes and things like that, and I thought, heck, I really don't realise sometimes how much life lessons serve you moving forward. I've lived in a third world country. I've washed out of a bucket. I've made bread from hand. I know how to make cheese. I know how to make bread. Cakes, biscuits, jams, cordials. 90% of the population these days get things off a shelf. Carting water, no flushing toilet. I've lived third world country style. So when you've done that, the smallest things that we say when we're in lack mentality and we say, gee, I'm so hard done by, you actually realise how really lucky you are, and that we have so much to be grateful for. And that's the polarity of the Taurus energy. It's like, yes, what did we have before versus where have we got now? We do need to look at what we do and what do we value now. It's the small things. It can be a warm house. It can be really choosing to have loving people in our life, having great friends, having hopes and dreams, being healthy, looking at those things and moving into gratitude. But there is a purge coming up regardless. So some of you are feeling, God, is there going to be the benefit here? Watermelon Tumblr. Am I going to get something out of this? 100%. You are going to get something out of this. It's going to transform everything in your life, and you will be very grateful. And I can tell you, I'm not lying to you. 25 years, and I'm very, very grateful. And it's not because I'm with Twin. It changed so many other areas of my life, and it freed me to a point I was never afraid again. Not afraid of what could come tomorrow. I'm not afraid of if Twin would be here or he wouldn't. Not afraid to try something new. And so it's not I won't have those things coming up. I look at it differently due to what I've gone through. So it's lighter energy, and it's worth more than anything in the world, I can tell you. Okay, so at the moment, you guys spiritually might be feeling, gee, have I done all of this for nothing? And some, even I know that what's coming at the moment spiritually, I know something's about to shift, and it's even going to shift for me. And I'm thinking, oh no, what's next? But it's not bad. It's just, It's taking us to that next level. And it's almost like we were talking about the event, and that's been coming up quite a bit in the last few weeks for me spiritually, psychically tuning in, that there's some shifts that are occurring at the moment that are going to be very, very important to us. And everything we have experienced, we're going to be able to use them all together. We're being situated in certain places. We're having some things taken from us, some things given back, and they're going to be 10 times better. So you've really got to trust it. So, warns against taking gifts or relationships for granted. And it's not in reverse. Okay, karmic union, divine revelations, gifts, opportunities, partnerships, love match, sacrifices, obligations. It is a wonderful positive ruin promising positive exchanges, connections and interactions and fair play on all levels. On an esoteric divinational level, this ruin suggests that the quadrant has been or will be gifted from the gods. It can take the form of wisdom, insight, opportunities. But I feel that, after what we've been through, being in soulmate relationships, being in karmic relationships, going on the twin flame journey, dealing with external energies as an empath, you can't say it was for nothing, because who you are now awake, observing certain energies going through this awakening, you don't look at things the same, and you're like, oh, been where you've been. So empathy-wise, you can understand, but you won't enable, because it doesn't help. We don't learn lessons that way. Some of us can learn through experience. Some of us can learn visually. And this is happening collectively. Let's get into the cards. So it's positive. From your heart, you're saying, okay, do I run away? No. Where are you going to go? The memory's going to be in your head. If you feel you've got to run, check it. Pause. Just breathe for a few weeks. You have to choose what's correct for you, but where are you going to go? I mean, it follows you, unfortunately. Them, it all. Let's use this deck. I've got to keep an eye on the time because I have a reading and I have videos to do for clients, and I have to come back tomorrow to do the love readings per zodiac. Why I chose to do it that way, I do not know. I just like adding to my plate, honestly. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, masculines. Okay, many of them, again, this can fall many ways. Some of you are in communication, some of you aren't, and I'm going to try and go level by level how it relates. Yes, there's reflection on the past with Neptune and Pisces and the crown chakra activated, that they weren't in alignment and they're mad at themselves for maybe some things that occurred in the past. I mean, that's natural. We all humanly do that. We're like, oh, heck, what did I do that for? So I pay attention to my intuition and dreams. I easily interpret their messages on. They're awake. They're like, no, I saw the writing on the wall. How did I get my knickers in a twist? How did I get myself into this situation where I now don't respect myself for making that choice? But the past is the past, right? It's letting it go, and it is in their mind because they are moving forward, right? They're burning it off. They're letting it go. They don't have the energy for it. They know it doesn't serve them. It doesn't take them to their higher path. They're making their dreams and hopes come true inside their own life to link and equal with you. But it's yin yang. We've got to come level, right? We've got to get to a point that we know when we're building and we're purging, it activates each other, and you both end up simultaneously doing it. Even if you can't see it, it happens inside and comes outside. Intimacy. Past tense energies to the left. They're not connected. This can be A, not feeling it. B, if you're in a connection with TF time, it's not a personal thing. There are soul upgrades happening. Now, for those, I'm going to pull a clarifier. Okay, those that are in karmic connections. What is the download? Let's have a look. Okay, what is the self-respect for those of them in karmic relationships? Self-worth energy. They got money, okay? They may have felt used. They may have felt that they had codependency connected to that. Now, towards you. Yeah, not leveling up and not communicating. Okay, this intimacy connected to the karmic place. Yeah, they're like, no. They feel it's karmic. Fortune in reverse. They're not bound by that anymore. Yeah, ending it. They feel lackluster. There's no chemistry. Which again, solar plexus and sacral chakra, when you're purging through it, what is that? It just, yeah, it purges out and it's over. You can't bring that energy back. Now, towards divine feminine. Sorry, that's greedy. Okay, they're up in their head about you. They're thinking about you quite a bit. They feel that. They feel your energy like it's leveling up. They don't want you to be sad. They want to bring happiness to you. They also don't want you to take what they're going through right now personal. They are thinking about you constantly. They're reflecting, but they are looking to the future. Okay? Now, clarity. Oh, creativity. Creativity in reverse. Mars is retrograde. Come on. Mercury's only just going direct. Ease up. We feel like we've been climbing mountains. What is this connected to? The karmic place. Over. Not going anywhere. What is this connected to? The feminine. Brand new beginning. Okay? Needing to end one cycle to bring a new one in. They do want to birth a new energy with you. This can be directly a child. This can be collective energy. Let me look. Between now and August, a lot of changes. Now, what is this silver waterfall? They've got something up their sleeve. What is this waterfall? Some of them, it could be them feeling they want to purify the situation, them feeling that they're wanting to come to a more neutral ground where it's emotionally abundant, where it's clear energy, it's healing, it's flowing. They feel with you guys, when you guys are in alignment, it flows like a river. They do know at times there can be a lot of passions and emotions coming up. Okay. And they do know that's not fun. So they're trying to come correct. They also know that there's jealousy here linked to the past. Okay, what is this? Karmic energies in relation to the waterfall. Oh, okay. Some of them might be trying to hide you. Again, self-worth energy, money, jealousy, envy, greed. Yeah, not wanting masculine to be with you. There is jealousy linking to this. Yeah, not wanting them to move forward. So that it's more like they're tying this out and trying to be neutral because they know they don't want to bring drama with them. Okay. How do they feel directly connected to the waterfall energy and divine feminine, please? That is sticking out to me. Yeah, they want to heal this. Yeah, there's a bit of jealousy here on their side too. Okay, they're wanting to come correct. They don't want to bring drama with them. They know that there's jealousy. They are watching you. They're a bit concerned if you are talking to somebody else. But they also know that karmic energies are. So both of you really have enemies on both sides. Be very careful, feminine and masculine. Okay, feminine, what's coming up with you guys? Oh, feminines. Come on, guys. This come up with my coaching sessions. Okay, soulmate energy. You know how we go through it. Let's just cut to the chase. Am I a twin? Is it real? Okay, take the tag away. Do you still love the person? Again, do you love the person? What if they're not here and you're saying, well, I haven't seen them in so long? Again, disconnect, be open, and what's meant for you will come towards you. Some of you might be having a lot of imagery come through. It can be birds. I've been getting a lot of birds. I mean, I had one the other day. Transformation, some people making generous offers. Pace yourself, be open, pause. 9 times out of 10, you'll have contact with twin at the same time. Now, there's 2 wings. There is this soul contract connection. Some of you, yes, it can be romantic energies from the past coming back, and that will link to, because we have Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio. Still that energy to the new moon in Scorpio. You've got that window pocket to make decisions. Changes and unexpected events can come. It is to take us to the high ground. What we want to transform, we transform. Now, something from the past is coming back, because some of you are saying, sod this, I'm getting to a point, I'm going to find a soulmate. Okay, now, worthiness, mirror, mirror on the wall. Again, the Taurus energy. I'm telling you, a lot of us are going, I just don't feel so hollow. I've been purging so much, my eyes are puffy. Shelley, we've been there, right? I need to get my glam back. I'm wearing my ascension pants. I want to connect with the world, you know, and lockdown energy, everyone's doing it. So it's like, it's not like we're going to get our strutting stuff on and walk down the catwalk, but we do want to feel more attractive in our own energy, maybe. And it's what we believe is attractive. It's not what we feel, what divine masculine will like, because it's a bit like going to your first ball, going to your first disco. And you want to look great. I mean, you can have the most beautiful outfit and get there, but if you don't feel comfortable in it, you're never going to look attractive because you don't feel it. I had this very, very diabolical dress, and I was like, it is it. And my mum designed it. I love you, mum, but, you know, I looked like a Christmas tree. Anywho, I went to this event, saw what everyone else was wearing, and it was like, absolutely no way, typical Libra style. I was like, I am not walking in there. I will not turn up looking like that, because we all internally have a benchmark. And it was like, obviously, for me, it was like, that's just not happening. And I think a lot of feminines at the moment are looking in the reflection, and it's like, why is all this energy? Now, it comes from the heart. Look at the key in the heart. Yeah, but so exactly, and it's for self, so it's never, hi love, it's never about anybody else. You know, sometimes we can have circumstances happen and they trigger us, and we're like, oh, maybe it was because I wasn't good, you know, intimately. Maybe it was I just let myself go. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. When you're detached and you really don't care what the other person thinks, and you're really happy with yourself, you glow like a diamond, and this is where we're moving into. The divine feminine is in reverse. We're feeling a bit like we're not feeling so divine at the moment. That can be because we're ratty. It can be because we're feeling like, do we even want that job anymore? What, abdicate? I wish to abdicate being a divine feminine. It's also, what do we feel divine feminine means? There's responsibilities in ascension. I'll tell you, it's like you have to be careful, because you become very strong. Very strong, where your thoughts will attract magical and terrible things. And it can be towards other people too. So you do end up realizing what goes around comes around, and you're very careful tuning into energies. So at the moment, some of you aren't feeling so divine, and you're working on that, right? Some of you may be feeling that you're not ready, and you're like, I don't want another round. You know, ding, 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 let's get into that. Yeah, no, we don't want that. It's like, no, because yeah, sometimes you just get to a point you're thinking, is this real? Maybe it's not. Well, it doesn't matter, because if you step back and realize, and I've got my reading in a minute, if you realize that how you feel is more than the tag, that's all there is, right? So you're realizing the falseness. You may have felt most recently that you were the karmic. Okay, karmics don't ask if they've got their crap together. I'm just saying. They don't go, gee, you know, am I looking at this wrong? No, they're totally in ego. You're the enemy. You've done the wrong thing. It's always your fault. That's very karmic in nature. When we can't directly take accountability for our own choices, where we maybe at all times expect someone to coddle us and look after us financially. And I'm not saying all karmics are like that. It's karmic in nature. Sometimes, yes, as human beings, all of us, twin flame, soulmates, karmics, all will exhibit this energy. Sometimes we just remain there. And it's whether we can walk through the fire to deal with the adversity and challenge those egoic belief systems. The garden, okay, we want those nice things, right? Where's this beauty? We're having inner child wounds come up. It's also to do with rebirthing. It's to do with conditioning, belief systems. A lot of the first waves are there to break down the paradigm of twin flames, right? Of can be age bracket differences, it can be cultural differences and connections. Interesting. Okay, so some of you are thinking, this person needs to tend to their own energy. That you are tired of maybe other people cutting your grass. Right? Cutting your grass. It's your freaking garden, right? You don't need to be there, Hawk. Trust me, I've been through that. It's like, mate, I'm not babysitting you. You want to be here? Great. You don't want to? Great. Okay? I've got 99 problems, and that is not one. Okay? I tend to my own garden. I tend to my own hopes and dreams. You have those things inside yourself. We're going to get on like honey to the bee. So some of you are feeling as though, and look, there's 2 feminines in the bloody tree. Bloody karmics. Yes, you will find your masculine could have a brown paper bag on their head and honeys to the bees. And it's the same for you guys, feminines, right? I was saying that to my twin. You could literally have a brown paper bag on your head and you would still attract people. Unfortunately, sometimes the crazies, but nevertheless, honey to the bee, right? So you're aware of this. You're wanting to come correct. You're wanting, and the funny thing is in the back, some of you may feel at times, look at this woman in the back. She's like in the tree, voluptuous, gorgeous, beautiful in her own energy, all green, loving, caring. And then there's Drusilla and Anastasia. They kept coming up today. I don't know why. Probably even in the last week. You know, Cinderella? Cinderella? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Not feeling so divine? Wondering if you're a karmic? No, because this is a karmic tuning into things. And you can channel the karmic. So channel the karmic, right? Okay, so tending to the garden, divine masculine's trying to mind his own business, get his things sorted, and something always scoops into test. So some of you are wondering whether this test is going to be passed. Some of you are still living in the past connected to this. And while you tune into it, you re-manifest it. So try as much as possible to tune out of that. Yeah, because you keep feeling it's going to be taken from you. Nothing that is yours is ever taken, because if they come back, it means they were yours. So if they keep coming back, hasn't that proved it enough? Then moving into detachment, knowing your self-worth, you attract it more because you have a benchmark of what you need. You're going to get gifts out of this, I'm telling you. Thank you. No contact for a long time. Yeah, sometimes when you're not seeing someone because you're not in it completely, because you're still tuning into your twin, you're not having any movement on either side. So it's always about getting to where you need to be. Sometimes we're scared to be alone. Movement generally, if you're with someone, they can be with someone, and if they're not with someone or you're not with someone, you're thinking about another person you haven't healed over. And alignment is all about just clearing that out, making peace with it, getting into that frequency of where you need to be. Some of you have children. Some of you are a bit frustrated, okay? And again, the karmic would be completely gone if we didn't share a child. Yeah, and sometimes, look, even if the karmic is there, like I said, we had situations to do with the karmic where you can't work with people that don't work with you. And even if it is for children, it ends up affecting the children if the karmic's really toxic. There's nothing you can do. I've had connection to children all my life, and I had and this is the problem, guys, you know, we have traditional values. We're breaking tradition down. That's part of the real challenging thing, is you have belief systems, you have conditioning to do with your childhood, that you want everything to be perfect. Hey, sweet, but we can't make everything perfect. You know, our children are not us. And everything that happens in life is meant to build us. And we don't know what's going to happen in 20 years. Some of these situations we can say at a psychological level is really affecting them. But ultimately, how do we know what the new kind of generation is going to be like? This could be a tool for them in a sense that we have no idea of, that could be preparing them for their future. Didn't understand the answer. No contact for a long time. Has he written me off? Well, usually I'll answer questions at the end, Dale, because I'm channeling. Look, with that, and I can't really answer anymore because I am going to have to go in a minute for a client. 9 times out of 10, no, twins do not forget. They never do. They can be quiet doing poker face. If you are a twin flame, you do not forget each other. It is psychically haunting. That is the one way you do know you're in a twin flame path. Because it is all up in your grill. You can shut it down and you can move on with your life, and then it starts coming through, and you would not have been thinking about them in a long time, and it just pops up again. So it's, if you feel energetically that that person is your twin, the only thing blocking you is that you feel you would need a sign from them in order to make a decision. And that, again, sometimes can be problematic in a belief system, and it takes longer. The reason it takes longer is feminine and masculine will never make you do something you don't want to do. It's almost against the grain of a soul contract. If you do, it creates more karma. It's about you always looking at your side of the fence and going, okay, am I happy with where I am? What do I need to do to move? What do I need to do to move into alignment? Do I feel I'm going to be with this person forever? I don't know. Is it serving me right now? Yes. Okay, then you stay. And you tune in and pour energy into that, right? But then when we are feeling, when we're feeling unhappy in a situation, disconnected, wondering how they are, it's because it's quite scary. It's usually saying you're ready to come out of that connection, because the connection is coming back in for you to look at something in a different way. And even sometimes when you're in soulmate connections, they can be the most perfect energies, and sometimes you do need to make that decision for self, if that makes sense. Anywho. Okay, some of you are feeling that maybe there's a blockage due to the fact that twin does not want to come in and they're not going to visit you. That why do you have to keep going to them? I'm feeling you don't. I've been in a toxic relationship and TF isn't toxic. Yes, and sometimes twin flames can be toxic. I'm not going to lie to you. And 9 times out of 10, the purgatory effect is due to previous connections and the way they relate to it. And sometimes we can have a lot of areas that are coming through from an egoic perspective, not a 3D nature. And that's more in the coaching I do. There can be substance, there can be alcohol, there can be a lot of reasons why the vibration is coming through, sometimes narcissistic. Not generally, you're generally protected because you cast aside to get out of the way of that drama, because it's not part of your drama, okay? Try not to take it personal. Anything feminine needs to know. Okay, so just get your energy in alignment. I'd say definitely if you guys are feeling a bit funky. Okay, what do you need to know? Get ready. Divine Masculine's on his way. Okay, and it's funny because I did look up at the energy of what is coming up with rebirthing, and it's Leo energy, and that's strength. And I'm feeling this almost with the eye, the sun, the shield. They're getting a lot of things in order. They're seeing things from a different perspective. They've got their star in their heart. They know what that goal is, and they're moving towards it. The foundation at the moment is moving into forgiveness because you're in reverse. You need to look at forgiveness. And forgiveness can be even them thinking maybe you won't forgive them because it's in reverse. Some of you, again, with the ruin, you're thinking, hey, is anything coming out of this? Well, the crowning energy is Divine Masculine. Okay. So I am feeling for many of you, there's a transformation happening in this person. And I know that with my twin, when he came back, I was like, hey, he's done more than I have. To do with his ascension process and the way he deals with things. Initially, I forgive myself, I am forgiven. Rabbit, rabbit. Whatever's bumping off at the beginning of the month, both of your emotions are getting looked at, okay? There's this and this energy. I just said, Dell, I can't really answer questions. I will answer one, but I can't do any more because I've got a client in a moment. The blue is masculine, pink, feminine. Again, they can swap rabbit, rabbit. Beginning of the month, we had the Taurus energy coming through. There is going to be forgiveness on both sides. They're also asking you to forgive them for karmic energies as well. Soul contracts and lessons we have to have, honestly, do come up sometimes in our lives. Some of you also separately may be dealing with a co-parenting situation. It can be very messy. There can be healing in that. It's bringing up healing for your future. But there is a situation coming to an end. Okay, whatever you're tying up this month, I don't think you guys are going to see it coming. I almost feel as though there can be something coming out of left field very quickly where it's as soon as you're detaching and you're not thinking about it. I'm seeing some of you getting a phone call. I'm also seeing some information and gossip coming towards you, and I will do later. I'll see how I go today. I may do a karmic read to see where the energy's at, but it doesn't have to be a person. It can be karmic frequency coming through of what can be coming up that is unseen, because I'm really wanting to channel that because I keep getting this vibe. There's something we're not seeing that is about to shake things up. Okay, I will answer. I'll get a card for the lovely. Yeah. It's funny because I'm really pumped for time at the moment. I do want to do a longer session and I will come back again and I'll do more updates. Okay. Ooh, SK. What is my TF energy towards me? Will he take action? Make a wish. I think that's by Neptune direct. But it's also what are you wanting to come in? I feel, have you got something at the moment that you have been delaying making a decision on? What is this decision coming through? Okay, Kate. Sorry you missed the premiere the other. I tell you, I did put them for a particular time, and then when I looked, it had changed the time frames of everything. I try and do both AM and PM because I am in Australia, so that different people through the world can get it. So I'll try and set it at 3 different time zones, and every month I'll be doing the same. However many likes for the premiere, they'll be the first ones coming up. So if it's lots of water signs, lots of air signs, I'll open the videos up ahead of time. I've already started the astrology for the next 3 months. Yes, the karmic is really losing it. Yeah. I'm making a decision about moving on to a soulmate, and it did come up in the reading. It's like we can't expect them to be coming to us to bring those wishes. If we choose, we choose, right? I can't, Luciana, I've got a client dial. I'll do it privately. I'll send it to you in an inbox. It was very sad. Yeah. Not longing. Yeah. Look, a choice is a choice. If something changes, it changes. You make a decision then. Do you know what I mean? Alignment is choosing what is in front of you. But if you're reminiscent and you're feeling stagnant, you kind of get a bit stuck. But I'm going to have to love you and leave you because I do have a client. I've got to get prepared. I need to go to the powder room. No, about the only thing I haven't done is hair and makeup. But, you know, I'm getting the Venus snare there. Luciana, you're going to get communication. It's going to be out of nowhere. Around near your mum and dad. PM me. Love and light.